所以接下来我们要介绍的这位讲师真的不得了了，他要跟我们分享的主题是有关强化自我保护跟营养的关系，所以我们会邀请到呢我们贺宝福营养荣誉首席的科学长，就是我们营养咨询委员会的委员，我们的 Dr. Henig 为我们带来精辟的一个演说。
Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Steve Henig. I'm the Chief Science Officer Emeritus of Herbalife. I've been with the company for 15 years, and 12 years of those 15 I worked with a team of product developers, of scientists and licensing experts to develop and to reformulate a lot of the products that we're using today. For the last 3 years, I was more focused on personalized nutrition. I'll talk about that a little later on. I'm passionate about the products of Herbalife. I consume them every day. I try to live the best I can in terms of a healthy, active lifestyle. And it's very appropriate for today's subject. Today's subject is about immune health. And right now I know it's a very, very appropriate subject in Asia, in the APEC countries. So I know you're very interested in listening how you can actually support your body immune system so you're better able to fight whatever viruses are coming your way. Let me back off a little. I was supposed to be with you 10 days ago in a spectacular in Hong Kong, in a spectacular in Taiwan. Unfortunately, because of the coronavirus epidemic going on, the meetings were canceled, and obviously I didn't make the trip. I wish I could be there with you in person, but the best option now for us to communicate is through this video, which I'm very, very happy to do for you. And the subject, as we said, is extremely important. I wish that this epidemic dies down pretty quickly, and within a month or so you all get back to normalcy, to your daily routine, and back to the business at hand, conducting meetings and doing everything you do to support the business. So I'll give you first a little background on the immune system. The immune system that we all have is an extremely complex machinery. And I'll also equate that immune system to a country's defense system. When country is under attack, right, the Army and the Navy and the Air Force all are going to defend the country, and they all have specific duties to perform. The Air Force, the planes do one thing, the tanks, the soldiers on the ground, they all have specific assignments. And you can think about the human immune system in the same terms. It's fairly complex. There's a lot of different cells and different signaling that are at work to protect us. And the protection obviously is against any foreign materials, against viruses like the one that everybody is dealing with now globally, the coronavirus. It's a flu virus we're not that familiar with, or any bacteria or any foreign cells for that matter, even cells within the body that maybe are cancerous and so forth. I try to simplify it the best I can, but I'll give you kind of the basics of what the immune system contains and how it works. More importantly, we'll very quickly get into ways to support the immune system and ways to enhance your body resistance to any kind of foreign invaders. So the immune system, our immune system, is basically designed to have two types of immunity. One is called an innate immunity, which is not that specific to any specific bugs. The second one is called the adaptive immune system. The adaptive operates, the innate immune system operates very fast, immediate. The adaptive immune system is a little slower to operate because it has to recognize the type of virus that enters the body. So it takes the body like reconnaissance. It's almost like a radar system, back to the war metaphor, that needs to detect what's coming in, to figure out what it is, and then develop all the system to attack it and destroy it. The innate system is composed basically of some of our skin and the gut, nostrils, wherever we breathe or something coming into our body through a skin or an aberration in the skin. And as soon as that foreign body comes in, there's certain cells that are activated and immediately go to work to kill that particular invader, that particular virus or bacteria or whatever it might be. So the barriers are the epithelial cells of the skin and some of the other organs. Once it penetrates, all those immune cells are activated and ready to go to war. The adaptive system takes a little longer to figure out what that invader is, and it then goes to work and destroys it. So the main defenders of the immune system are the white blood cells. There are two blood systems in our bodies: the regular blood that conveys oxygen, the red blood that conveys oxygen to all the cells, and the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system carries all the white blood cells that are called leukocytes, white blood cells, leukocytes, that are the main cells that defend us from all those invaders. Those various leukocytes are of two types: B cells and T cells. It's not a detail that you want to remember, but if you hear about it, that's the nature of it. And they are configured to produce antibodies. By the way, the foreign objects that enter our body are called antigens, and to fight antigens, you have to introduce antibodies, which are chemicals and compounds that actually destroy the antigens. And so by chemical reactions, we are not going to get into the details of it, but that's the way the body deals with it. Another class of defenders, cellular defenders, are called macrophages. Macrophages, their role is like the Pac-Man theory, if you remember that game. Pac-Man, eating other Pac-Mans, other creatures. That's how this macrophage comes. It detects a virus or a bacteria and tends to literally swallow it and dissolve it, thus destroying it. The storage for those leukocytes or white blood cells are in our lymphatic system. So in different organs like the it's called the spleen or the lymph nodes, that's where they are stored. The white blood cells actually are made in our bone marrow, within the bone itself. That is where the production of those leukocytes or white blood cells is taking place, and obviously they are called on to defend our body by signaling. So the signal to activate those cells are given by either hormones or cytokines. Again, those are chemicals that the brain, sensing danger, sensing an invasion by bacteria or viruses, the brain then would send those signals through through the cytokines or the hormones, and they would activate then all those defense cells that I mentioned. And that's the way the body kind of fights all the foreign invasions. a few more introductory comments, and then we'll move on to some practical ways in which you can support your immune system. So today, I'm going to talk primarily about diet, about exercise, about stress reduction. I'm not going to get into what medical doctors do to fight infections. Now, the whole idea is if we use the right diet, strengthen our body, our muscles, and our entire system, our bodies will resist infection much better. Unfortunately, if the infection already took place and there's a disease, then we got to refer to a medical doctor. It's not the role of Herbalife members or distributors or our staff to deal with medical issues when the disease already is there. Our job is to recommend the proper diet, the proper products, usage of the Herbalife products, healthier diets to build the immunity through the support of the immune system. Unfortunately, if more aggressive action is needed, then you have to refer to your physician. Another comment, and you'll hear me use the word support quite a bit, because that is the legal terminology, the regulatory terminology that regulatory bodies around the world are using. The nature of the product we sell, dietary supplement, we can make claims that are considered to be structure function claims, not medical claims. We are not curing disease. We are supporting the body by various products. And so keep that in mind, that I'll use that terminology throughout my presentation today. So what are the keys to a healthy life, to building a better immune system? I don't think that you'll be surprised by seeing it. We've talked about it before, and it's fairly simple, but we all need to have, you need to have the discipline to exercise all those. So it starts with balanced nutrition. And in a second, we'll get into the details specifically of that, what that balanced nutrition entails. Exercise goes hand in hand with good balanced nutrition because it enhances our metabolic processes, builds muscle, makes us stronger. Another important area that in the past we haven't really talked much about, but beginning to talk about it because some products are being introduced to reduce stress. Stress reduction is essential as well to fight any invaders, to fight disease. So you want to be as relaxed as you possibly can and not stress, because stress leads to inflammation. I will touch upon that separately later on. Another area you need to consider is a good night's sleep. We all know that when we don't sleep well, we travel, there's jet lag, the body tends to be weakened. When the body is weakened, the immune system is weakened, and it tends to lead again to susceptibility to a disease. Socialization is a bit more removed, but it's an important function, particularly for us at Herbalife. We go to nutrition clubs, we go to meetings, so meeting other people, sharing stuff, having fun with them, reduces stress, it avoids isolation, and isolation can lead to, bad moods, even depression, and obviously the body is less capable of fighting a disease. Well, so back to nutrition. The most important nutrient, as you know, is protein, right? It's the first nutrient and the most important one. Why is it so important? Well, number one, it builds our muscles, and it builds a lot of the defense, a lot of the immune cells as well, which provides the defense mechanism for the body. So protein truly is the number one ingredient. As you know, the Herbalife nutrition philosophy is calling for higher levels of protein in our diet. Typically, the average diet around the globe is about 15% of calories coming from protein. We recommend that you elevate that to maybe even 30% because of the importance of that particular ingredient. It's interesting that protein has a tremendous effect on immunity. There's many scientific papers that were written describing the importance of protein in building those T cells, right? Remember the B and T cells? Those are the leukocytes, the white blood cells I've talked about. Very important in building them. It's very important that you have protein in your diet. For example, the amino acid arginine that you can find in nightworks is also very important to build your immune system. And obviously we have a product to support that. So protein is a key ingredient for immune system. Now, what products contain protein? So you know that well. So if you look at the range of Herbalife product, first and foremost, it's in Formula 1. Formula 1 is a wonderful source of protein. To supplement products, Formula 1, you can use the protein powder as well, and the protein bar is a good source of protein. Now in Formula 1, as you know, if you prepare it by labeled directions, you will get about 17-18 grams of high quality protein that is essential to building your immune system. It also contains 21 vitamins and minerals, and I will talk later on about the importance of vitamins and minerals in helping support the immune system as well. So back to Formula 1, you get 18 grams of protein if you supplement it with a protein powder. You can add about 5 to 6 grams more, so you'll get more protein. And it's important to get equal amounts of protein in the 3 meals, at breakfast, at lunch, and at dinner. And for the average weight people, if you can get 25 grams in each meal, 75 grams, it'll be great. You can do 1 or 2 shakes a day that can help you to get up to 40 grams of protein right there from the 2 shakes. The rest will be made up by your healthier diet. Other nutrients that you will find in the shake are vitamins and minerals, and I'll talk about them separately, but the shake does contain critical vitamins to support our immune system, such as vitamin A, E, and C, and it contains as well potassium and calcium that are very, very important. Turning our attention to vitamins and minerals, they're extremely important in building the immunity and supporting our immune system because they are cofactors in a lot of those immune cells that I've mentioned and in the processes that lead to fighting those bacteria and viruses. The micronutrients are vitamins and minerals, and you need to take them in adequate amount. What are the critical vitamins to supporting the immune system? I would point out to vitamin C, A, E, and D, particularly vitamin C. So a lot of the products that we have in the marketplace in APAC contain vitamin C. Some of the foods we would recommend contain vitamin C as well. Orange juice, fruits, vegetables, specific vegetables, kale and so forth, contain high amounts of vitamin C, and vitamin C has been proven over the years to build your immunity, to support the immune system. So you will see on products that are in your market the claims that vitamin C helps support the immune system. Various minerals such as zinc, selenium, iron, and copper, also very important. Zinc particularly. And there's actually a lot of products containing zinc in the marketplace. We have it in some of our products as well. The next nutrient we're going to talk about, and it's important, in supporting your immune system is fats. And as you know, the Herbalife nutrition philosophy recommends levels of fats up to 30% of your caloric intake. Now, the issue with fat consumption around the globe is that people do consume more fat than what we recommend, up to 40% of calories from fat. Another issue is that they tend to consume saturated fat that comes from meats and milk rather than the good fat, omega-3 fats, which typically come from fish and some of our supplements. So the recommendation is to cut the fat consumption and to shift it from saturated fats, from omega-6 type fats, to omega-3 fats that are healthier fats. So that's the general recommendation. Now, the connection between fat and immunity is very important. High level of fat in the diet, no matter what fat, tends to be pro-inflammatory. And inflammation and immunity are connected. When the body reacts to inflammation, a certain injury on the skin or anywhere, or some disease inside, or some knee pain, it's basically the tissue is inflamed, and it calls on the immune system to go repair it, to fix it. So it puts some pressure on the immune system. It happens so that the diet high in fat puts that extra pressure on the immune system, which is just not necessary. So the wrong fat is pro-inflammatory, thus activating the immune system, taxing the immune system, whereas fish oils, rich in omega-3, tend to be fighting inflammation. So it's an inflammation fighter. So generally, omega-3 are in support of the immune system. The other types of fat actually tends to weaken it. So keep that in mind to consume good fats. And here you have two products that in the various APEC countries you might find them, Tri-Shield and Herbal Lifeline. They are rich in fish oil components, DHA, EPA, a little different in the Tri-Shield. It's phospholipids, very good for your health as well. Now, the extra benefits of healthy fats that we provide through those products, it helps maintain normal blood pressure, helps maintain normal triglyceride levels, and it's also good for a healthy heart, for vision, and so forth. So keep in mind, consumption of fish, omega-3, stay away from saturated fat, will help you in terms of keeping your immune system healthier, and it's supportive of a healthier immune system. Next ingredient that is very important is fiber. And we also recommend fiber at levels of about 30 grams a day. And as you can see, fiber you can consume from oats and soybeans, lentil, whole grain breads, and depending on the serving size, you will get up to those level of 30 grams a day. Fiber is very important as well to building our immune system and to support it. First of all, it boosts the production of a component called interleukin-4. It's a specific protein that stimulates the production of immune cells, the white blood cells, which is good. Another important feature of fiber, and particularly soluble fibers, that it builds a better community of bacteria in our gut. So it brings another subject of the microbiome. You must have heard about the microbiome and the importance of the microbiome in our health, general health. So we all know that in our colon and in our gut, there is a big community of microorganisms. As a matter of fact, very big, 100 trillion of them. And they are very important in performing different functions of digestion and so forth. But lately people are finding, researchers are finding, that are very important in terms of their immune properties. So there's a connection between immunity and the microbiome. Healthy fibers tends to lead to a healthy microbiome. With a healthy microbiome, your immunity is supported better. So fiber is very, very important to keep a very good, healthy microbiome and gut health. Fiber you can consume through the foods that I've mentioned, or you can add to your shakes, to your diet, fibers that we provide through Herbalife Active Fiber Complex. It's 5 grams of fiber, good soluble fiber. You can easily add that to a shake or drinks, so very important to consume that as well. The next class of component and ingredients very important to our health are phytonutrients. Those are the nutrients that are contained in fruits and vegetables. Dr. Heber, who is an expert in it, wrote a book, What Color is Your Diet? So you can determine the amount and the type of phytonutrients by the color of the food. Red, yellow, green, so forth would indicate different phytonutrients. Phytonutrients, the technical terms, they contain polyphenols. Those are very healthy component to a number of bodily function, including healthier blood pressure, and they're very good for heart health. But they're very good also for the microbiome because they contain, besides the polyphenols, also they contain good fibers. So fibers and polyphenols will also make your microbiome healthier, will get you to a healthier microbiome and thus improve your immunity as well. And there's a variety of products in the Herbalife portfolio of products that contain nice phytonutrients. Just to mention, two that are consumed in all countries, such as our green tea or herbal tea concentrate containing green tea. NRG tea contains that, cellulose as well. So again, try to look for colorful fruits, vegetables, good fiber, good polyphenols, healthier microbiome. That means better immunity system, and it is very supportive of the immune system. At this point, I want to point you to a series of videos, short videos, done by Dr. Heber on Instagram. So if you have access to Instagram, please take a look. It's a series of about 10 short clips, a minute each, talk specifically about the microbiome and immunity and how phytonutrients, fibers, good fats influence the health of the microbiome, better microbiome, and thus improved immunity. And they're very well done. They give you a lot of scientific facts, and so I really encourage you to watch that if you can. That pretty much concludes the section of diet and immunity. I want to turn our attention now to another important factor that I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. It's the importance of stress management. Stress, if it is short-term, can be okay, and it can be generated by us being excited about doing a certain activity. Endorphins, adrenaline kicks in, we feel good and energetic, and we want to go do something, whether it's a presentation or preparing for an exam or going to an event that gets us excited. That is healthy stress because it is short-term, it's energizing, and it's got no harmful effect. Now, long-term stress becomes chronic stress, and that's not good. And we all have it in our lives. I mean, there's financial issues, there could be relationship issues, there could be work issues, whatever the issues are, health issues, all creating stress in our life. Now, if the stress is not going away, it persists, and it becomes chronic, it leads to some bad effects on our bodies, because chronic stress leads to chronic inflammation. In a second, I'll explain the connection between inflammation and immunity. But when cells are inflamed, where the body is inflamed in various places, and when the immune system is activated to fight it, it's okay for a short term until the problem is solved. But if it persists ongoingly all the time, the immune system is activated all the time. And like everything else, it gets exhausted. And you don't want to get to that point where the immune system is so weakened that when you really need it to operate as a defense system against microbes and viruses, it's too weak to do that. So it's very important to reduce this chronic stress and find ways to fight it. Here's how the system works. When somebody is chronically stressed, all those signals, and again, no need to remember them, but there's some hormones and cytokines, that's what we call them, such as adrenaline, endorphins, serotonin, dopamine, cortisol, they all kick in to try to go fight that inflammation. If it's constant, it calls upon the immune system to go fight that as well. But if it's chronic, there's really no specific injury to be fought. So it starts just fighting actually our own cells, which can be destructive, and it leads to all sorts of ailments and diseases. And so that's the connection. Now, inflammation also can be connected to a diet. We talked about chronic stress causing inflammation, but a bad diet can cause inflammation as well. So you can see, just to name a few of those inflammatory ingredients that you want to minimize in your diet. I mentioned saturated fats, trans fatty acids, which is hydrogenated fats. Red meats generally need to be consumed in moderation because it contains a lot of saturated fat. Simple sugars are okay in small amounts, but if you consume too much of it, stresses the body, can cause inflammation. A lot of sugar in the diet can cause obesity, weight issues. Those obese, the body fat, some of those fat cells can become inflammatory cells as well. So it's to be avoided, those ingredients. Good ingredients that I already mentioned that are anti-inflammatory are omega-3, fish oils, the polyphenols, the phytonutrients in fruits and vegetables, CoQ10. We have a nice product in CoQ10 in our portfolio of products, ginger, green tea, and so forth. Another cause of stress is the stress of aging. As we go through life and we age, obviously that's a stress by itself. Because physical health tends to decline as we age, memory can decline, mood, social isolation, financial insecurities, so all those aging issues can cause also stress. So to relieve that stress, you have to find ways to socialize, find ways to relax, meditation, yoga, whatever works for you is a good way to reduce it, as well as a better diet, for sure. Let's turn our attention now from stress, inflammation, and immunity to the benefit of exercise. So exercise per se is great in helping us metabolize our nutrients better, to build better muscle, to be more conditioned, for better blood flow. And guess what? It also improves our immune system. It supports it better. And the many benefits of exercise help you control weight because it burns calories, boosts the energy so we feel more energized, improve our health generally by reducing LDL, increasing HDL. You sleep better, and remember there's a connection between sleep, inflammation, and the immune system. And all in all, it's a good thing to do on an ongoing basis. And you don't have to be an elite athlete to exercise. Do it modestly, but do it consistently. So 150 minutes a week of moderate exercise. I would recommend doing some form of exercise, whether it's walking, jogging. Walking is great. If you can walk fast, it's good. For 30 minutes a day, at least you do it 4 or 5 times a week, it's great. If you can do more, that's even better, but that would be sufficient. Stretching exercises are great, and obviously working with weight to build muscle, to tune up the muscles, that's a great thing as well. And by doing all that, you would tend to build healthier bodies, and thus you also support the immune system much better. Quickly, let's mention other type of activities that can reduce stress, can then affect inflammation in a positive way, and build the immune system. Is sleep. That's very necessary. 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Sleepless nights, getting agitated, not getting enough sleep can also reduce the ability of the body to fight disease. Thus the immune system is somewhat reduced. Get involved with stimulating activities such as reading, interesting projects. I've mentioned already relaxation technique, yoga, meditation, and get social. Fortunately, at Herbalife, we have nutrition clubs and meetings where you meet people, you interact, you find interest in getting more involved, in building your own business, consuming products, get active, and all that helps to build a better spirit, stronger bodies, stronger minds, as well as better immunity. Let me shift now the discussion to build some confidence in you around the products of Herbalife, how they are made and how wonderful they are. It starts with procuring great ingredients. Herbalife is very good at sourcing ingredients, working actually with farmers that grow ingredients such as aloe and soybeans, tea in China, and knowing exactly from the seed going in the ground the quality of that ingredient. We then take those ingredients, whether they're extracted or made into powders, and we formulate product in a unique way. So those formulations are unique to Herbalife. Nobody else has those kind of products. And I've mentioned many of them before, and you know most of them. once the formulation is done, it goes into the manufacturing facility. And Herbalife now is blessed by having our own manufacturing facility around the world, in the US, in China, in other countries. And they have the latest of equipment, and the quality control in those facilities is second to none. So the quality control and assurance at Herbalife is at the highest level it could possibly be. It's almost as good as the pharmaceutical industry. It's that good because the products are tested along the way. The ingredients are tested, the finished goods are tested. So at the end of the day, we know exactly what ingredients on the product, at what level, and so what's on the label is exactly what's in the bottle, manufactured with great care, and then, as we've discussed already, delivering the right nutrition for every one of you is another great asset that we have at Herbalife. The new wave, I was supposed myself to be in Hong Kong to be involved in the introduction in a personalized nutrition kit. What do we mean by that? Every one of us has slightly different requirements for nutrients. And it would be nice to know, wouldn't it? To know exactly what's right for you. In order to do that, we need to do some simple diagnostic tests. And that's what we have done already in Korea 2 years ago. In Korea, the company introduced a program called Gene Start. And the program requires two simple things: to do a swab and to send it into a lab that can determine what nature gave all of us, i.e. the genetics. What are our genes and how do they operate, and what kind of requirements is in our in genetic codes in terms of the nutrients we need and so forth. Second thing they've done is to fill a questionnaire that talks about their lifestyle, their exercise habits, diet, and so forth. We have found a way to combine the results of the genetic test with a questionnaire through a mathematical equation and algorithm to give our distributors and members in Korea specific recommendation of what they should consume. And we looked at a number of categories such as weight, nutrient metabolism, HDL, blood pressure, and so forth. And every one of the people that took it got a personalized report recommending specific programs and products for them. In Hong Kong, a group of 100 distributors did that same kind of test, modified somewhat to the requirement in Hong Kong, and they already are practicing that, and the intent was to introduce that tool February 8th in Hong Kong. Unfortunately, the meeting was canceled. So it'll be done in a different way, but that tool now is going to be introduced as well in Hong Kong. So the idea is, we call it nature and nurture, what's in your genes, what you tend to do, so what's in your environment, combine two to give people personalized recommendation on what they should consume. And I believe that is the wave of the future, so hopefully more and more countries will be exposed to it, and in the future, Herbalife would be able to design specifically dietary recommendation and recommendation of products to individuals. So that's kind of where the industry, that's where science is leading us.
谢谢我们的 Dr. Henig 跟我们的分享。那呢，其实我们贺宝福产品呢是我们的营养补给品，所以在任何情况之下，你不得把它当作药物或者是治疗目的使用，它可以当你很好的营养补给品。那呢，接下来呢，其实呢， 听了这么多的课程，公司当然不会让你空手而归啊。今天呢，其实呢，在我们2020年1月31号开始，只要你单张的订购单购买了我们防护身体组，防护身体组有什么呢？就是有我们的发泡锭啊，还有我们的 Garden 7蔬果营养锭，以及我们的草维锭。它就会送你一个我们的旋转锭片盒，它非常的时尚，也非常的灵巧，所以呢，你记得把握机会跟公司下单。那呢，今天非常的特别，如果假设你在今天下单的话，还会额外多赠送你一个我们红色的冷水瓶哦，而且你知道吗？这是限量的，所以记得在今天记得下单就会得到我们这样的冷水壶。那呢，当我们知道我们有一些刚刚这么多课程都一直不断提到我们的防御力，对不对？我们的免疫力，其实要增加我们的免疫力呢，我们应该去摄取很多的一些不同的蔬果。所以呢，你知道吗？像我们刚刚提到的，提升我们的防护的3合1组合里面有一个叫草维锭。那草维锭呢，其实它是纯净好吸收的，里面我们就看到它的1克草维锭，我们的1颗草维锭里面就含有这么多丰富的营养素，所以呢，是不是刚刚我们的博士们都有提到，其实我们要增加一些我们的食物中的摄取，而且它是全素的。那同时呢，还有我们的蔬果营养锭。那蔬果营养锭呢，其实刚刚呢，在我们有关抗病毒的一个整个过程里面，我们提到有一些什么东西呢？还有提到我们一些柑橘，对不对？还有提到我们一些植化营养素，对不对？这些东西呢，都是可以协助我们的一个身体有一个抗氧化的能力。那里面还有什么呢？像我们刚刚听到的。有什么姜啊、蒜啊什么的，这些东西是不是都是可以增加我们身体的一个免疫能力？所以我们看到我们蔬果营养锭里面有什么蒜素、我们的茄红素、花青素，所以我们丰富的营养素，还有一些酶类我们需要摄取的一些营养素，它里面通通都有了。所以它里面提供7种颜色蔬果的一个植物的浓缩精华哦。那还有呢，就是我们的活力发泡锭。这个我非常的喜欢，因为呢，它除了呢里面内含的成分，我们刚刚有提到，我们有一些茶类，它可以协助我们抗氧化，对不对？它里面的一些植萃的一些精华的营养素，里面还有我们的硒跟 B 群，它也同时可以提振我们的精神活力，而且它的吸收率是非常好的，同时它也是全素、无糖、低卡的。所以呢，如果你是一个很忙碌的上班族，其实在你忙碌没有足够的休息的时候，免疫力也是同时容易降低的。记得是时候的去补充一些营养品来增加你的免疫能力哦。那么今天呢，介绍这么多的课程呢，其实我觉得课程非常的精彩。那呢，今天的课程你都有吸收吗？那公司呢也提供了一个 QR code， 如果你关于这一次的课程呢有一些建议，或者是有一些什么样的一些问题，你都可以扫 QR code 给我们一些回馈哦。那今天其实呢，我觉得我学到满满的知识。那呢，知识化为行动。如果呢，你希望呢提升自己的免疫力，记得除了呢一般的防护以外，记得自己增加你的一些我们经过科学实证的一些营养补给品，是时候的补给会让你的身体更健康哦。所以我们今天的呢，我们的直播就到这里哦，谢谢大家，拜拜。